So today I am going to be drawing and painting a picture of a little peacock. I wanted to draw these birds. I didn't really want to do all the detail of the tail feathers. I really wanted to get into the colours around the head and the neck and the feathers on their backs. So I'm doing it's a male peacock with his beautiful tail, but his tail's dragging along the ground. So I got this reference off Unsplash. I'm just going to start by drawing his basic shape. They've got lovely long legs. We have these around our farm and they sound like thunder when they're on the roof. We had a few, our neighbours had them, and yeah, they landed on the roof occasionally and they sound like thunder because they're huge and we've got a tin roof. So, but they're beautiful birds. I thought it would be fun to try and paint one because they're such vivid covers, and today I'll be using my core watercolours. It's going to take me a little bit of fiddling because their proportions are a little bit unusual. So they've got long necks, quite wide heads. I've got to see if I can get the shape right. There'll be a little bit of, oh, and his beak's a lot longer and a lot narrower, like that. And they've got their nostrils are on top of their nose there, on top of their beak. And then he's got beautiful markings around his eyes. Come from his beak, sort of around down that way and then up. He's got a little crest of feathers coming around like that. A couple little tufts of feathers, so I'll just draw those in roughly like that. Beautiful big eyes that are in line with his beak. And I thought I could do this with markers, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to do him with watercolours. I might do one with markers tomorrow. We'll see how we go. And he's got his neck coming down like this, and then he's facing away from us. So his neck is 2 times the length of his head, 1, 2. So I've got his neck about the right length, like that. Then his back, I've got to make him a little bit smaller because he's not going to fit. I think, hang on. I could make him walking so he's sort of stretched out a bit more. I might do that. I haven't got a cut and paste. I can't, because I've been doing digital. I can't make him smaller. I'll have to draw him smaller. You know what? I'm going to have to draw him a little bit smaller. So I'm going to erase. This is the beauty of traditional art. And I use a kneadable eraser. Love my kneadable eraser. Makes life a lot easier. So I'm just going to start where he was. Make him a fraction higher maybe. Fraction higher on the paper. And then try again, shall we? All right, his beak's a bit curved. Come down like that. Get his basic shape. Draw his eye pattern around his eye. Got him very high on the paper, but that's okay. Oops. That pattern goes there. His eye's quite large. He's got like a crest that comes out the back, like that. I'll draw a separate part for his iris in there. You can still see the shadow of the underdrawing, but I will do a little bit of a background to cover that, so you don't need to worry so much. Now his head, what did I say? His neck was 2 times the width of his head, so I measure his head, then I go 1. 2. And then his chest comes out like that. Oh, excuse me, that's my dog. my little dog's being quite vocal. He sits under my desk while I stream. It's not a whole lot shorter, but doesn't matter. I can have him disappearing off the page. I'll just draw his tail coming out to the back like that. So I can adjust it. Artistic license. I can adjust it a little bit. His wings come down like that and then join into his tail. They're the most magnificent creatures. They really are. I can draw his tail coming down like that. Hello, Violet. Need to leave it. I'll pop it in now. No worries, doll. Have you had your... Did you do your test yet? Have you done your test, your exam? And that's absolutely fine, doll. I'm going to... at the bottom of his legs are going to have to be chopped off. Or I need a bigger piece of paper. Huh. Decisions. That's all right. You know what? I'm going to have him so he's taking bigger steps. And his legs, I won't show all of his legs. You'll have part of his legs. There we go. That'll do. Oh, and I've already done that wrong. So I'm going to erase that. And this leg's a bit straighter. This leg's coming down a bit straighter. Like that. And the other leg goes down the back. You did? Oh, awesome. And how'd you go? How do you feel you went? I don't know what I got, but I feel okay. Good. You know, that right there, that says you've probably done pretty well. So great effort. Or at least it's done. You can put it to the back of your mind now a little bit. All right. So he's walking. So I'll have that leg there, and then his tail comes down like that. His feathers come down. His wing feathers come right down. And these feathers are literally, they're just going to be lovely and turquoise. I'm just going to make them so that they flow down. Said thump on my door. Okay, down like that. Having a quick look. His feathers come down over his back like that. And he's sort of facing away from us. So I'll do him like that. And this is all beautiful and turquoise. Hey, Bug, I'm streaming. That's my daughter. Okay. His crest comes more like that. Okay. I think that's okay. We are now going, I'm going to use my core watercolours. They're more pigmented. They're much more vibrant. And in my short this morning that I did on YouTube, it was actually a picture of Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. And I used my core watercolours and gouache because they're very vibrant. So I thought, oh, I really feel like doing a wildlife one with that. So now I'm going to grab my palette. And I hope it sounds better than yesterday. I've readjusted my microphone. So I'm going to grab some turquoise, or cerulean actually. Grab some cerulean and do my first layer of really pale cerulean. Gotta grab a bit more cerulean than that. There we go. And all different brands of watercolour behave differently. So I know core watercolours are much stronger than the colours that I usually use, the brands that I usually use. I usually use Sennelier and Schminky. And cores are much, much stronger. Dang, you are good at drawing. You can draw the body in one go. I'd be drawing, then erasing, drawing, then erasing. No, this was my second attempt. I did the first one a fraction too big, so I had to redraw him. But it takes me a couple of goes, but 50 years of practice too, Dale. I've been drawing. I don't ever remember a time not drawing. And so I'm 55, so I've been drawing for 50 years. Since as old as I could pick up a pen. And I've done lots of observing animals and lots of drawing in the wild. It's one thing I will recommend. If you get a chance, go to zoos, go anywhere you've got wildlife and draw from nature. It teaches you to draw faster. It teaches you to see detail more quickly. Because they're constantly moving, so you know, you can't guarantee they're going to stay put. So I found that drawing from nature really helped me get a better eye for perspective for drawing, because you have to catch things super fast because animals move super fast. And it's good fun. But I'd also get lots and lots of photos. That's a long time. Yeah. Yep. Longer than most people have been alive, kiddo. I mean, my kids are in their 30s. You know, but I've always drawn. Come down here. It's a lovely thing. It's a wonderful craft and I'm still learning. It's a wonderful thing to do. It's really good. It's very relaxing. But it is yeah, a life's work. Drawing is my life. It's like some people like to read books. I love to draw. Now I'm going to add this green while it's still damp, or this turquoise, a cobalt teal it actually is, onto the back of his neck. And anywhere I see that he's got this beautiful teal colour. I need to get better lighting in here. I've got my lights turned off because it's super duper hot. And it'll heat up everything. So I've left my lights off, so I've only got the natural light coming in the windows, so I apologise, guys. Okay, and then I've got a giant window in front of me. Excuse my little dog, he might need to go out. I might have to go and let him out in a second. So, and this will be a few layers, but if you like vibrant paint, I highly recommend Core, Q-O-R, watercolours. They are absolutely gorgeous. Because every now and then I like to have something more vibrant. Watercolour's quite soft, delicate. You can't get the zing that you can get with it, like the real oomph that you can get with oil or acrylic. But I find with the Core watercolours, it does give me a little bit of that glowy, glossy feel. Okay, so I'm just going to come down the back. Not sponsored, by the way. Just going to run. Now, his tail runs down. I'm just going to draw stripes of the effect of his tail. It's dragging along behind him. He hasn't got his tail up. He's just walking along with his tail low to the ground. I'm just going to have to go and let my dog out. Just bear with me a second. I'm just going to walk over and let my dog out. What's your dog there, Bear? You want to go out? Okay, out you go. Out you go. Oh, let the bear out. Okay. So now he's got blues and greys. I mostly use colour pencils and regular pencils. Oh, I love pencils too. I'm really bad at pencils. I do love drawing with pencils, but I'm not good at blending. I have got a couple of sets. I love watching artists who can draw with pencil. I mainly use ink. I'm an ink girl. Ink or charcoal. I love charcoal. I love markers. Alcohol markers. And what's really fun too is I like to do traditional art with alcohol markers, because not many people do it. A lot of people do characters and things like that with markers, but I love to try and do traditional, like wildlife and classical almost. So I'm just building up. Good at blending. Oh gosh, that's one thing I need to learn. I cannot blend. I am shocking at blending. Absolutely shocking. I'm going to come under his tummy and blend that down. Okay, we're starting to get... I'm going to do blue into his eye. His eye is not blue, but just for a base colour, I'm going to put the blue in. And I've got to draw his feathers, his feather markings. I'm going to use phthalo. I'm going to go a slightly stronger blue onto his wing feathers using the tip. And this I'll only do with 2 brushes. I'm using my Silver Black Velvet watercolour brushes. I've got a size 2, a size 4 and a size 6, sorry. Size 4 and a size 6. And they're the ones with the fine tip. And I'm just going to draw, just looking at his feathers and the patterns on his feathers, leaving the white of the paper as the highlights and the white of the bird. Do you sell your paintings? I do. I actually have an Etsy and but I do cups and things. I'm happy to sell any of the pieces that I have. I've got to reset it all up. I haven't done it in a long time. I usually just work on commission. But I'm thinking I might do giveaways of the artwork that I do on stream. I've just got to figure out how I'm going to do it, because all my friends are on the other side of the planet and it's quite expensive to send things from Australia. But I might do like I'll try and figure out how to do a giveaway, and people can request a painting and I'll do it for them. And I can do it on stream, and that gives me inspiration to subjects to do as well. So it helps me, and it's something for the followers and subscribers. So I might do that. I've been thinking about it. So I might do follow a giveaway. Okay, and for my friends on Twitch, it might be if they subscribe, I'll do a portrait of an animal that they want specifically. Maybe I could do that. I don't have that on YouTube, but I've got to figure something out for YouTube because I'm not monetized over there yet. But that would be ideal. You would buy one? Well, that's lovely. Well, just make a request, Al. I've also oh, hang on, I'll put my socials up. I'll pop it up in the chat. Socials. Because you could message me on Instagram if you've got a suggestion of something you'd like to be painted, Dal. I'm happy to do a little painting. And then it would, just because I'll be starting, I'm happy to do one for you and have it be just the cost of the mail, like the cost of sending it. So whatever the mail would be to send it over. And it would be something this size, watercolour or marker. But I'd have to work out pricing for everyone else, and because I'm just practicing, I'm just trying to figure it out. I have no idea how I would do it on YouTube. On Twitch, I would do it for a sub. Or I'd do a sub giveaway or a sub sale. Sub request. I've got to figure out how to word it, how to do it. But I will figure it out. So these guys have their feathers coming all the way. His wing feathers go all the way down his back, and then he's got a little line of feathers there going over his back. And it's the same as anything. You just build up the layers. Not thinking about what things are. I'm just looking at the shapes. And the shapes come down in like stretches like that down his wings. Got it? I will check out your Etsy. Awesome. Because Etsy, I do cups, tea towels, mugs, things like that, which is good fun. I've got to keep updating because a lot of my digital work goes on Etsy. But my traditional, I tend to just do on request. But my digital work is much easier to do on Etsy. It automatically gets sent to the people, made up and sent. Okie doke, having a quick look. Okay, that's looking okay. I'm going to add some of this dark. I've just got to suggest the eye patterns on his tail. They're more oval shaped. Like that. Just blobs almost. But yes, I'm still in the works of figuring out how to do that. And now I'm going to go in even darker. I've got an ultramarine. Now my little dog wants to come back in. So I'm going to go in with some ultramarine. And I'm going to add that into his iris. Like that. That just darkens up his eye nicely. There's a little bit of darker around his face, around here. Excuse me, I'm just going to let my dog back in. It's a little terror. Come on, Bear. Come on, come this way. Quick, quick. Come on, Bear. Come on, Bear. Oh, no, Bear wanted to come back in. He was crying at my window. Okay. He was sitting having a look at my window. Okay. Add some darker down here. Anywhere I can see that he's got stronger feather tone. I'm going to go over again with the teal as well. So add less water, more pigment to make stronger. So it's exactly the same colour, just I've got less water to make it stronger. Like that. This paint is drying so fast. And at the very end, if I've got any excess pencil marks that I don't want, I can just erase when it's dry, erase over the top. Okay, now I'm going to make a grey. So I'm going to use I'll use cerulean blue, and I'll add a bit of brown, bit of burnt sienna. See if I can make a grey. Bit of cerulean, bit of sienna. Yeah, that makes a grey. So I'm now going to dilute that right down so it's a pale grey. And I'm going to pop this onto his beak. I don't own a grey in this paint. So I'll just mix my own. So burnt umber or most blues and browns will make a grey. And the darker the blue, the stronger the grey will be. Just going to blend that up a fraction. And indigo is always a great replacement. So this is like an indigo that I'm going to use for his nostril. And just the line in his beak. Very fine line. Like that. Okay. And now I'm going to use that indigo. Again, I'm going to use that indigo in his eye. Just to create a little bit of... Oops, I need a bit more water in there because it dries so fast. I do love indigo. I think indigo is my favourite blue. And I use it as my replacement for pretty much all greys and blacks. And so now I'm going to also add, his crest. Oops, days. Get my grey, dip into my grey that I used on his beak. And mark out some of his crest feathers. Like that. And I've got to do, he's got grey feathers that come down here as well. So I'm going to mark those out, leaving the centres of them white. Because his tail's dragging. What's your favourite colour? Is purple. My favourite colour is green. I adore greens. Dark green, heritage green, British racing green. I love green. Greens and blue greens. And then my favourite painting colour is indigo. In every brand of paint that I own, I love it. I've got to have an indigo and I've got to have a cerulean blue. I love their darkest blue and I love the brightest blue. So now I'm just drawing his leg scales. These birds are just magnificent. The more you look at them, the more you see. But I have to say, I do struggle with purples and blues. I do, like some purples, I can't tell whether it's a blue or a purple. Like, yeah, like phthalo blue to me is purpley. But any blues, I just love any blues, purples, and greens as well. Actually, I like everything except red and orange. Now that I've said that. Okay. So now I've got to draw. I'll go back to my cobalt teal and add these little crests. He's got little bursts of tufts of colour on the ends of these feathers. Like that. And then I'm going to add some of the turquoise, the cerulean onto the bottom of that. I've got to make a green. I'm going to go a bit of cobalt. I'm going to see what happens when I add a bit of yellow to my cobalt. If it makes, oh, that makes a citrusy green. That'll do. So cobalt and cobalt teal and yellow, hence a yellow light, make a lovely greeny tone. There you go. Because he needs some green. A bit more of a stronger green. Because I don't own a green paint. Actually, I don't. Oh, no, I do. I have Viridian green. I lie. I have Viridian green. But that's too strong and dark. So I'm just going to add some of this, a bit more yellow to it maybe. Bring that down onto his leg. A bit more onto his back. Coming down his neck. I saw a fella yesterday, I was watching a documentary, and he did the most magnificent carvings, and he carved every single feather. Every single feather. My mind was blown. I was like, oh my goodness, that is dedication to detail. It was a sparrow. It's a carved sparrow, and every single feather was carved. And I was like, oh my word, that's just divine. I wish I could do that kind of detail. I would love to be he was photorealistic with carving. I've never seen anything quite so magnificent. So now I'm just drawing all the feathers, and to carve every line on every feather on the whole bird was phenomenal, and it was life size. Like you would, so they're not a big bird, but wow. That's all I have to say is wow, mega wow. I'm going to use some indigo. I'm going back in with some indigo. My paint water has got the prettiest colour. Look at this. How pretty is my paint water? Because of all the blue. My paint water is very beautiful right now. You put it in a perfume bottle and keep it just to look at. And then it'll settle into goop on the bottom. Got to grab some more of that. More indigo. Carving is cool. You need to be very patient. Yeah, absolutely. but gee, it's gorgeous to look at. So I'm just adding some of these stronger feathers. I've done a little bit of sculpting, clay sculpting, and I've really enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I made lots of little animals that are now sitting on my shelves. Gonna add a little bit of blue into these feathers on his head, so you can see the undercolor, the light blues coming through. Just got a diluted a fraction coming down here. Because watercolours, you can be very washy and just soft. I am tending to like to try and add a bit more detail. Doing digital art has taught me to be a bit braver with colour. And a bit more strong with detail. Because I used to not spend so much time on detail. I used to just suggest things, like give an effect. But now, since I've been doing digital, I was trying to get a bit more hyper realistic. Because with my digital, I was able to. It's a lot more forgiving. So I've got to try and be a bit braver now, and try and just do it. Just give it a go. Try to be a little bit more realistic. Come under his tum. Under his darker. And come down to his tummy. Right down to there. Okay, having another quick look. I'm gonna go a bit of the Viridian. If I can pick it up on my brush. A bit of Viridian, which is a strong green. I'm going to add some yellow to it. Try and liven it up a little bit. I could even use my gouache. I've got some gouache. Carving is cool. Oh, I'll get rid of that. Okay, I'm actually going to add some of this green as well. I'm going to dilute it down onto these feathers on his back. I'm going to go over the top of the blue. Just onto these top ones. I just want it to sort of blend it down a bit more. Then I can take it into these tail ones as well. Like that. I'm going to do a wash of grey over his legs. So I've still got some grey there. I'm just going to wet my brush, literally just dip it in and do a wash over the top. So it's just like just tints the paper almost like that. I'm also going to do that on his back, just down here over the top of the, if you just do watery, very watery, it won't overpower the marks you've done on the top. You'll still see them through it. Like that. Looks amazing. Thank you. We're getting there. We're getting there. I've got to add a bit of green. I'm very much just playing around with it, just fiddling, because I'm very rusty. I'm just being brave and having a go. Being brave and having a go, because I do love birds and I do love peacocks. Can add a bit of this green over the top a bit more. I'm going to add a bit more over this bit on his back. Coming down there, clean my brush. I can't see. I've got to get my indigo, get quite strong indigo. And I've got to wet it with my spritzer. This paint is drying out so fast. And because core is a tiny little bit thicker, a little bit stronger pigment, it does tend to dry fast. So now I'm going to add that, the indigo, which is a strong darker blue, onto his wing feathers. He's actually got orange, looks like orange underneath. I'm going to take this down. This is the indigo blue. I'm going to just add a line down the back of these feathers. Like that, because they go all the way down to the ground almost. Stronger, darker blue onto the bottom part of his legs. These scaly bits at the front. Like that. It's got some darker blue bits up there. Very dark under there. And this will dry 1 or 2 shades lighter than it goes down, because watercolour does that. It dries probably 1 or 2 shades lighter. I'm also going to add a bit of this darker blue onto his cresty bits. And a little bit of the darker blue onto his feathers on his back. Don't want to cover it all, but I need to add some of this darker to the patterns on his feathers. These are all little tiny overlapping ones, and when he puts his tail up, these go down the side. Quite amazing actually, they're quite beautiful. Yeah, his tail's just running along down there. Darker bits underneath. Like that, fill that bit in. Okay. I am going to get a bit more Viridian. I'm going to try pure Viridian just in the darker green. Ooh, that's very strong. Pure Viridian. Very little amount of water because I want to get a stronger green under here. Stefan, thank you for the raid. How are you, mate? Thank you. Do a shout out to Stefan. Welcome, welcome. Do a shout out. Whoops. Shout out at Stefan Angelico. Thank you. How are you? How was your stream? I'm great. I am great, mate. Just getting back to streaming after quite a long break and loving it. Hey, Roz, how are you, mate? Yeah, getting back to it and really enjoying it. I've been doing lots of traditional, but I'm just getting back into my, lots of digital, sorry, getting back into traditional. Not bad yourself? Good. Really hot. How are you guys coping with all the heat? It's a good day to be indoors. A very good day to stay indoors. Stream was great. A little bit over time, but we got a lot done. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Very, very good indeedly. So I'm just, I've got out my core watercolours and I'm just attempting to be a bit braver with feather details. Expecting 40 plus several days this week. I know. Going to be running the noise. Yeah. Yeah, we've got every air conditioner in the house going. Project is for an alarm clock with a matrix display. Oh my goodness. And that display is what we've been tinkering with. Wow. That sounds amazing. Sounds amazing indeed. I love that, you know, because I know you did computer programming and designing and things, but my goodness, that's taking it to a whole other level. I'm going to use this super dark. Come down. And how's the music? What's been happening with the music? You've been doing much? Because not only do these guys do computer technology and all of those things, but also music. It's going to darken up the tips of the feathers. That's amazing. Actually, I was watching a fella in America. I was watching a car show, and he had a car, like his dashboard was like something from the space age. It all just lit up in all different colours and different. And it had different displays on it that just, you know how they have displays on the screen that you can see through? They just pop up on your windscreen. It was like that, but it was his dashboard, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The display has internal chips that I can send commands or data to, and I have to have a lot of discipline to make sure everything is in the right mode. Oh my goodness, yes. That's a whole other level of focus. That would be amazing to see though. But we got all that in the code, and we can now easily clear the whole screen and draw in the lips. Oh my word. I have a joke about ellipses. Every cow that we ever draw, my friend and I, we have a joke about drawing cattle because we both like going out and driving in the car, and we pull up at fields of cattle and draw cattle, and they're just an ellipse with legs. You're in America? Oh, cool. Yeah, you guys have amazing tech. But yes, every cow that you ever paint, it's just an ellipse with legs. The day we realised that, we were having a bit of a laugh in the car. Not wrong. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm not going to do a background. I'm not going to do a background. I'm going to go and do a little bit more of this light teal. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not. You know what I need? What I really need now? You know that you can get metallic watercolours. I don't own them. I feel like with a peacock, I need a metallic watercolour. Just saying. I think there was some mathematician joke about assume a spherical cow in a vacuum. I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that, but that works. It is a spherical cow in a vacuum. That would make an ellipse. Oh, that has got to be on a T-shirt somewhere in the world. I need that T-shirt. If that ever... I need that T-shirt. That's so funny. That's so funny. But yeah, my friend and I, we were in fits of laughter for about half an hour over once we realised that cows were just an ellipse. Or a spherical cow in a vacuum. Love it, love it, love it. Optimization problem. How can we make dairy farming more efficient? The mathematician came up with a perfect solution, but commented that it only works for a spherical cow. Oh my God, that is pure brilliance. I love that dude. Whoever that dude is, that's awesome. Legend status. Love it, love it, love it. Achievement, unlock streamer can't breathe. Yeah. Oh, it's real. I love that kind of laughing though. Thank you. You've made my day. You have made my day. Now I've got to find my larger brush. I wasn't going to do a background, but I need to figure out. I can't remember. I've got to remember my colour wheel. I cleaned up. Note to self, artists should never, ever clean up, because when you clean up, you lose things. So I cleaned up. All of my art supplies are in these lovely shelves behind me, all in grey boxes. Do you think I know? Have I labelled them? No. Do I know what's in any of them? No. I have to literally move everyone to find what I want. So I need to Google colour wheel so I can see what the polar opposite of turquoise is, colour wheel, so that then I can do the complementary colour behind. So the opposite of this blue is red. So I need to do an orange or a red background to make it pop. Ew. Or pink. That could be fun. Let's do that. Let's do it. What's the worst thing that happens? So Aussie dirt. Yes. Good old Aussie dirt. You know what we're going to go? We're going to go with pie roll red, because why not? Pie roll red. Oh, that's I just wow. That's just wow. Hang on. I'm just going to show you my pie roll red on my brush. Oops, daisy on. You watch me drop it. Oh, you can't see it. Put it up to my face camera. That is pie roll red. Let's do that. My electronics workbench has some stuff in compartment boxes, and I theoretically know where everything is, but I inevitably reach for the wrong one. Yes, go team. Yes, I resemble that comment. I know every art supply I own is behind me on those shelves. In theory, that's awesome. And it looks very organised. But guess what? Do I find anything? No. Do I have to pull out a box and dig through it? Yes. So I've just tinted my water by accident, and that's okay because the background is going to be this red anyway. So I'm just going to go over the top. I'm in this photo and I don't like it. My electronics workbench is... oh, yeah. Okay, keeping going all the way around. Doesn't matter that my paper's tinted now, because I'm just going to go over the top of it with this pie roll red. And then it is drying so fast because we're mid-30s at the moment. What time is it now? It's nearly 2 o'clock. But yeah, we've got a week of 30s and 40s, which is not. But I think South Australia is getting hit even harder. But we've got air conditioning, so oh well. I'll just have to do art all weekend. What a shame. What a hardship. I'll just do art and play games. I shall throw myself under that bus, sacrifice myself in the name of summer. Okay, so I've done that very washed out and very pale, and it is drying incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. And I've got the air conditioner on full so that it... I would love a soda water, doll. Hi, everyone. This is my husband, Scott.
Hello.
My beautiful...
Soda.
Actually, a creamy soda. Creamy, yummy, creamy soda. Now, remind me... hang on, where am I? Now, remind me, are you in Country Vic when I went to a small town country a couple of weeks ago, which was... It's only... Yes, I am in the country of Victoria. Different disembodied voice. That was my husband. He said hi to everyone. He's getting me a cold drink. Yeah, we're rural Victoria. So we were right up near where the bushfires were 2 weeks ago. So yes, we were on warning that weekend. So we were very lucky. We had everything packed up, ready to leave. So yeah. Not good. So we're all right this weekend. We've been through and made sure everything was fireproof and everything's all still packed up. We never really unpacked. I was in St Arnaud, which was safe, cool. Oh, St Arnaud's a gorgeous spot. Absolutely beautiful place. The CFA in every town was out. Every town CFA was utilised, I think, that weekend. And I think this week's going to be another week. We've been lucky. We have been lucky up until now. Okay, so now I've done a very light washed background. I'm going to now try. This is going to make it or break it. Oh, no, I need to add more water to that. I'm going to strengthen up this because it's drying as it's hitting the paper. It is drying as fast as I put it down. I've got to try and keep it soft around the edges. Fires around Wodonga spread a lot though. Oh my God, I know. I've got friends that live at Mansfield as well. And one of my other friends lost their farm. They lost, yeah. But they were out the Bendigo one. They lost, well, they saved their house, but they lost all their fencing, their sheds, their farm machinery. So sad. Those bushfires realised that they're violating a total fire. I know, rude. You'd think nature would keep in touch, wouldn't you? Rude. Okay. I'm going to come down and around under here, and I've just got to try and keep it going. So I apologise if I miss any chat. I've just got to keep moving as fast as I can, and then drag it out to the outside edge. Still parts of bushfires going. Yeah, I think Mansfield's still on fire. Out the Snowy Mountains, the irony, opposite of Wrinkly. Yeah, I think the Mansfield ones aren't under control. Okay, blend that all down and around. Okay, so I'm quite happy. I quite like having the stronger red around the bird. And then the softer going off into the distance. Yeah, so we had a lot of horses in the area around us evacuating. They put them all in horse trucks and drove them off, and people were volunteering to keep their animals at other people's farms. So people were moving animals everywhere, get them out of the path, which was good. It's amazing how communities come together. Okay, so I'm just going to blend that out quickly. Whoops, today's all down and around. Continue right down the back. And this paint, this is the core, is much more forgiving, I find. This is allowing me to blend it more easily than other brands of watercolour paint. It's allowing me to take it out, drag it around without leaving a hard line, which is nice. So, see, because I could move that away from the bird without it setting hard, like having a hard edge. It sort of they call it re-wetting. It lets you re-wet the paper. And this is Archer's watercolour paper. I like my Archer's watercolour paper. It's a bit more expensive, but it is you do get what you pay for with watercolour paper. That is one thing I will say. Cheap watercolour paper is not good. It doesn't hold a lot of water. It splits. It gets bally and icky. It doesn't let the water travel really well. I suggest if you can afford anything, get more expensive paper, because it does hold the paint a lot better. Even the best quality watercolour on rubbish paper is going to not look good. The fire around Harcourt, Castlemaine was small, but went right across the corridor. Yeah, but that's the one that took out my friend's farm. That was nasty. It was little, but it was nasty. Yeah. And it was because the grass was so long. And see, everyone's just starting to cut their hay. So there was still a lot of long grass around, like waist deep, dead grass. So it just went, oof, you know. And that's what my husband and I were driving down the roads here the other day. And the council tells you, you know, slash your paddocks. We've cut our hay, so we've got low grass around. But, you know, everyone slashed their paddocks, and then the sides of the roads is waist deep. It's like, really? Yeah. So they tell you to take care of your farm, and we take care of our farm, and then the council doesn't take care of everywhere around it. Yeah, mega whoopsie. Mega whoopsie. But oh well. Okay, now I'm quite happy with that, I think. I think that's okay. I'm actually going to I've got my white pen here, my white marker. I'm just going to, funny thing, while I was up there, and especially on the way, I saw many trucks full of hay. Yes. Well, a lot of people will now, you know, they because it all got burnt. So they've got to try and source hay now. So a lot of people will be, because a lot of farmers lost their hay up there, the ones that did cut that were still sitting in the paddocks. So we're going to give some away to some friends who need it, and we'll just, because we've got heaps of round bales. So we'll donate some to people who need it for their animals. I just got to get through this weekend. I'm just going to add, I'm going to be a bit of a annoying. I'm going to get my teeniest, tiny, look at how tiny the filament on this brush is. It's teeny, tiny filament. And I am going to do a dark outline. I'm going to get my indigo and do a dark outline around the eye. Now is where I get to the teeny, tiny, fine detail. Got to go around the outside. St Arnaud has 6 or 7 highways going through, and it's not on the way from Melbourne to anywhere, so it gets a lot of big rigs going through. Oh, St Arnaud, is that? I've got Gippsland in my head. It's not near Gippsland, is it? That's not on the way to Adelaide. Not Gippsland. What's it called? Behind Colac? Halfway between. Oh, it's in a whole other area than I thought it was. There you go. I had it go in the whole other direction. Shows you I haven't been there. I've heard of it, but I haven't been there. Where am I thinking of then? So now I need to even find a brush. I need an itty bitty teeny tiny brush. Have I got one in here? Hang on. I've just got to find a brush with the finest tip that I can find. Almost. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's tiny. Okay, let's try that one. The Wimmera District. Yes. Okay, cool. Wimmera is renowned for lots and lots of horse shows. The Wimmera had the best showing circuit for horses. The Wimmera District, everyone aimed for that every year. All my horsey friends used to show the Wimmera circuit. Okay. Come down and around here. Just starting to add a few little feathery details. Tell you where I found that's absolutely gorgeous that I hadn't been was down the south coast, down Phillip Island, and all along that's the surf coast. Oh my goodness, that is the most beautiful place. I'd been down the Great Ocean Road and those roads, but I hadn't been down the other side and along the coast there. Oh my word, it's magnificent. So now I'm inspired to do, when I retire, to do the around Australia, the coast road, and just follow the surf road all the way around the country. I would love to do that. And just go to all those beautiful beach towns and the surf beaches. And I'll just sit in my banana lounge on the side because I'm not going swimming in the ocean because I don't do swimming in the oceans. So I've just got to get some more feathers going on his little legs because his legs are a bit disconnected looking. He's got darker feathers under here. Darker feathers coming around here. Having a quick look. Got to be a bit careful because the reds will, it's not smudging in. It's actually doing all right. I'm quite happy with it. I just don't want it to bleed into the red. I need a bit more of a green. I do need a bit more of a green. So I'm going to go back to my, I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something very strange. I'm just going to go yellow over the top of my blue because by rights that should lift it a little bit. Because it's watercolour, it will shine through. Actually, there is a bit of yellow on his wing. I didn't see that. Just a little. Going to do a wash of like yellow. Having a quick look. I need some white gouache, which is in the boxes behind me. I follow the Prince's Road. That isn't always very coastal. Yeah. Yeah, we went from Phillip Island. Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. We went from Phillip Island up the coast towards, I can't even remember the names of the towns. Can't remember the names of the towns. It's my creamy soda, excuse me. Yummy. And that was just gorgeous. But yeah, we followed the road and zigzagged in and out and went back down onto the beach and pulled up at all the surf points. And the windmills have got those amazing windmills, the power ones. Like Wonthaggi, yes. Oh my God, down there's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Like I've fallen in love with that area. Absolutely fallen in love with it. Because I'd never been down there before. And we'd always gone north. We'd never gone south. And I'm in love with that place. I could quite happily travel around there for the next however long. That's my dream. Been there once for theatre. Oh, cool. Cool, cool. When you say theatre, just tell me what you were doing. So I'm going to just pop some... I'm using my white marker. The old Colemon actually now has a small theatre. That's cool. Very, very cool. It's just adding a little bit of light back on his back. And this is just acrylic paint. This is just an acrylic marker. It was a country production of the Pirates of Penzance. Oh my God, that is cool. Now I've got that that song in my head, the modern, oh, for goodness sake. And that probably makes no sense to you guys at all, but because I've forgotten the words. It's from the show. That yes, Modern Major General. Yes, this is very bit of me of Modern Major General. Yes, I can't remember the words, but yes. Love it. Okay, so I'm just literally adding. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mix media. I'm going to grab, I know, my Faber-Castells, alcohol. Oh, these are ink. These are ink pens. I can use these to highlight over the watercolour. And this has got all the colours you can get in it, because I went mad. And I am going to draw over the top just a little bit of detail for the feathers. And these are very soft alcohol markers. Actually, you know what? It doesn't even really... I can add that. I'll go to my darker greens. I need a turquoisey green. That's a turquoise. I just want to add some little feathery lines because it's slightly stronger than the watercolour. I think it's thanks to large part to theatre that I'm well travelled in Victoria. That's so good. Music and theatre is a wonderful thing. My brother travelled the world with music. So, yeah, the music is the doorway to the world. Music and acting, or theatre, not so much acting, but theatre, does open the doorway to the world. From Mount Beauty to Quambatook to Wonthaggi. Mount Beauty is the most magnificent place. My goodness, what a beautiful part of the world. I think Mount Beauty, I went horse riding up there once. It is probably the most magnificent place I've ever been. And it is beauty, pure beauty. Or it was back then anyway. So now I'm just going to add this blue, which is, what does this say this is? Cobalt. So I'm pretty much sticking to the same colours, just not in watercolour. Country towns always love when we perform too. Yeah, they would. That is very fantastic. Okay, coming right around. So you're artistic in every sense. Mathematical, computer, or technologic and artistic. It's all art. Come down here. Darken up and straighten up under his neck. Cobalt blue, isn't that the precursor to the move to movie green screen? I have no idea. I don't know. See, you're full. You have all the knowledges. All the knowledge. I honestly don't know. And this will be good for actually to define these wing feathers a bit more too. I can actually get a bit stronger with them. I've got to be careful though, because he can start to look a bit too heavy. I really don't need him to look too heavy. I've got a bit of white there. That was silly. See if I can... I might be able to get a little bit of my red over the top of that. Let's pick up a bit of red paint and see if I can just blot that out. Doesn't really matter. I'll be keeping this one. It won't be for sale. I'll just blend that out a fraction more because that's acrylic, so watercolour won't go over it. But not to worry. These things happen. They do. We'll just leave that as that. It's not a safe colour to swim in. No. I'm going to do that not breathing thing again. God, you're funny. Turquoise is not a healthy colour to swim in. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no. No. And yellow snow you need to be careful of. Turquoise. Yeah, cobalt and turquoise. You don't know. If you see a lake that in that really, really vibrant blue, it's because it contains stuff you don't want. Yes. Really pretty, really deadly. Like most things that are really pretty, they're really deadly. So there's me peacock. I'm going to say he's done. I'm going to sign him down the bottom left-hand corner, and I'll sign him in the turquoise. Calcium carbonate, ask South Australians. Oh, wow, okay. I'm just going to... We have that lovely blue-green algae up here. Can't really see that, though. How's that phosphorus, the water, the waves that were the iridescent and fluorescent and doing all that kind of stuff? Oh, my God. There's a few blue lakes in South Australia. They look great, but you can't swim in them. Oh. And I've got to remember 2026. We're in 26. So I have dated that, and I am going to call that done. Nowadays, they would do the same thing, but with the green screen, or they just have a big old display so that the weatherman can see what he's pointing to. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You are a font of knowledge. Yes, I'm going to call that done. I'm going to think, what would we like? I might just do a quick drawing. I should stick to birds, so I'm going to find another bird picture and do just another quick bird sketch. I've been doing a couple of drawings a day. I tend to do one and then I'll just keep going for a little bit longer. So what birds do we have? Any suggestions, anyone? I could do a little kingfisher. We like kingfishers. Kingfishers are gorgeous. And they're the same kind of colour-ishy theory thing. If it was blue in Groundhog Day, and what's her name was wearing clothes of the right colour to turn invisible. Oh my God. Yep. My daughter did that. We went to the aquarium and got a photo taken, and my daughter was wearing the same colour as their background. And she was just a head. In the photograph, she was literally just a head. Her body disappeared. Okay, so I'm trying to find... That's hot press. I want hot press. That's the one. Okay. So we're going to do a little kingfisher, because why not? And we're going to mix it up. We'll go mixed media. We'll go watercolour and pen, because it's the same colours as peacock pretty much. Except he's got orange on him. This little guy has anyway. We don't get a lot of these at home. We get more kookaburras. Had the biggest blue tongue lizard the other day. Oh my God, he was huge. He was a beauty. So I'm going to bring this over here like that, because I can use the same colour palette. I'll stick my peacock there for a second. Whoops. Make sure I'll sit him over there. He's safe and out the way then. And, oops, I've got to be careful to take some of the sticky off this, because otherwise it will tear my paper when I go to take it off. So yeah, so I'm thinking about, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do some kind of art giveaway. Give away some of my traditional pieces. I've got to try and figure out how to do it. I'll figure that out in the next day or two, how I'm going to do that. But I will be having some kind of a subscription follower thing. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm just going to draw this little bird. He's a little kingfisher. And he's facing... They're slightly less low budget. They'll stick a plank under the car and have someone sit on it and bounce around. Hey, have you ever seen the Irvy movies? Unfortunately, a bit obvious when the driver's steering doesn't match the movement. Oh, I know. You just don't look at that. I used to love the Herbie. Herbie Goes Bananas. Yeah. I'm a Volkswagen girl. I love Volkswagens. Now, his head, his beak is the same, plus a little bit. Fraction. His head and his beak, like add a centimetre to the width of his head to his beak. Just looking at the angles. Not worrying about detail yet. Just angles, proportion, shapes. So his beak's a triangle, a long, skinny triangle thing. His body's an ellipse. And his body is the same length as his beak. So everything's in proportion. If you look at things, you can usually figure out, I usually draw the head first, and everything I measure against the head, because usually everything's in proportion with the head. Like for humans, the torso is 5 times the length of the head. Interesting fact. Everything you can do, once you've drawn the head, you can get the proportions. So I nearly always start with the head. Yesterday I didn't with the foal, but I used the bigger horses as perspective to give me the dimensions. On the very rare occasion that I don't use the head as the detail, the proportion perspective. That's a lot of P words. I drove a Volkswagen once to make sure someone wasn't going to drive intoxicated. It was a 2-minute drive, but it was weird because I'm not used to the blinkers being on the left side. Yes! I had an old 1970 Volkswagen Fastback Type 3, and it was a sporty little thing, but you couldn't drive it on a windy day because it would pick up off the road. It was so light. You couldn't drive it on a rainy day because the windscreen wipers didn't work. You couldn't drive it on a 40-degree day because it overheated because it was air-cooled. But it was really cute. And you drove it on really nice days. Yeah, I sold that actually a few years ago to some guys in St Kilda, some yuppies, who were using it as their daily driver, my 1970 Volkswagen. And I loved that car. It was so fun. And his name was Wolfgang. But yeah, your windscreen wipers didn't work. Your indicators were on the wrong side. He blew away in the wind. When he got rained on, you couldn't see. And yeah, it was funny. And he overheated all the time because they're not made for Australian climate. It took me 5 hours to get to the beach once. In like a 2-hour drive took me 5 hours. First cars, yeah. And you know what the thing was? I went back for more. I had a midlife crisis and needed it and had to have one. So I went and got another one. And yeah, same problems, never changed. Except my next one was a 1974. Oh, it was fun. So now I just stick with my Toyota. I've got a farm truck. Okay, so I can see both of his little claws come around. You've got very orange feet. Mine is pretty modern, actually, 2013 Corolla. Ooh, my kids have got Corollas. I've actually got the little MG3 now for whizzing around town because we've got the big farm truck, but you can't park that anywhere. It doesn't fit in car spaces. So I've got a little MG3 and that's cute. It's quite a good little car for what it is. Cheap, affordable. Okay, so but Corollas are the best. You cannot kill a Toyota. The only issues are the dents. I can't be bothered to fix it. Yeah. You know what? If you go fixing dents, someone else is going to dent it on you and it'll make you sad. So you just don't do that. Pretty old. It's a 1980s model pair of legs. Not very well. They still run. I'm glad yours do. Mine don't. My legs haven't run for years. I tried it once. It was really funny because I'm very uncoordinated. I'm like Kath and Kim. What's her name? Yeah, I'm like Kath. When you know how she dances, that's how I run. To any of my American friends, Google Australian Kath and Kim, and I'm the mother. That's how I run. Okay. So that's my little kingfisher, pretty much. And he is the same colours as my peacock, pretty much. So, yours mostly walk. Yeah, mine walk. Sometimes like a chicken, but they walk. So I'm going to use the colours I had. I'm going to add a bit of my burnt sienna to my blue to make that grey for his beak, because his beak is a grey. And this is going to be a fast, simple, more suggested. I'm going to do it the old way, not so much detail as I put on the peacock. So I'm going to put this light grey, a full length of his beak. I'm going to grab a little bit more of my indigo, add a bit more pigment, little less water. That makes stronger colour. It's exactly the same colour, just less water, and it gives you the effect of it's darker when it's a different colour. It's not. It's just the same mix, the same colours, just less water. Exactly. My sister drove it for a year before I got my licence, got into a bingle, got it fixed, got into another bingle, same spot. Oh my God. You know what? My daughter, her beautiful little car, had it fixed and had the dents taken out, and we've got thousands of kangaroos. And the one day she was driving home and 2 kangaroos jumped into her, bounced off the side of her car. And yeah, it was a bit sad. So got it fixed, picked it up, was driving to work, and then a whole herd of kangaroos, I swear, they had a sense of humour. They bounced on every panel. It was like a whole herd of them jumped out and just bounced all over her. She's like, I know, they didn't break her window. They broke every other part of her car. So now she has dents. She gave up. But still reliable. Yeah, they had a sense of humour. I swear they were laughing at her as they bounced off into the paddock, I'm pretty sure. Because she slowed down. She'd seen them. She knew she'd tried to stop and they bounced all over her. Because at night time it's deadly around here. There's just thousands of them. Thousands and thousands of kangaroos. I mean, on our farm, there's any given night you can go out there and there'll be hundreds of them. I'd be afraid of them crushing the roof. Yes. We got a platforming challenge here. Remember, the road is lava. Jump on the car. Yeah. Challenge accepted. Oh, no. I tell you, a friend of mine lives near, what's it called, near Bacchus Marsh, and they had deer on the side of the road, wild deer, and apparently there's an embankment and these deer jumped off the embankment and onto the roof of a car. That was somewhere around Bacchus Marsh. There's all the hills, the Lerderderg Gorge and all those hills. Got to darken up the bottom of this beak. These birds, we don't get these a lot here, but they are absolutely beautiful. And he's got orange. Have I got an orange? I just realised, oh shit, I should have checked that I have an orange. I do have quinacridone gold. That's sort of it. It's not really an orange. Actually, that is more of a natural orange, quinacridone. So I'm going to put that in his orange bits. And I'm going to take that quinacridone, which looks brown on the palette, all over his chest. So this is quinacridone gold. It's gorgeous. It's actually a very Australian colour, this gold. It's like a burnt gold. Like our landscape. And I'm still using a small brush. Why, she asks? No idea. I should be using a bigger brush. Just saying. So because this is a browny gold, I could actually probably add a brown to darken it in the shadow areas because he's got darker, or I'll just go stronger. Less water, more pigment. And the interesting thing, because these core paints I've had in this palette for years. Like I've literally put these, had this palette for like 6 years set up. Before I got my licence, my sister drove us to Quambatook for theatre, and as we got within about 10 kilometres of town at about 10 p.m, a roo jumped across the road about 150 metres in front. My sister was smart and slowed right down just as we got to the spot. His mate jumped in front of us. Roos aren't very intelligent when it comes to that. When it comes to cars, I don't know what it is, but they just, yeah, because they'll bounce for miles and then you'll stop and they'll jump on you. They're not the sharpest tools. I did hand rear one years ago. Her name was Lucky, and she was smart. Probably the equivalent of about a 5-year-old human. She could open doors, and she was house trained, and she would bounce around the house with toys in her pouch because she was really funny, and she'd wake us up and scratch on the fridge for a drink in the morning. To be fair, I don't have to deal with deer or moose. Yes, my son-in-law's Canadian, and he tells funny stories about their wildlife. Be fair, yeah, I hear there are road hazard. Yes, very much so. Very much so. Now, I've just realised he's got darker, this burnt orange on his face as well. I'm going to add a bit of a stronger orange. I don't have an orange, do I? I don't. Oh, maybe. Hang on. I'm just going to see what this colour is. Oh, it's a very reddy orange. We're going to try that. I just want to strengthen this. It'll darken up on this colour underneath. Just making it up as I go along here, peeps. I'm just going to dilute that down a fraction and just run that down his chest. Going to get some food. Have a great stream. Thank you so much. And yeah, absolutely. Go eat. Enjoy. I'm going to do another shout out. Hold that thought. Just got to quickly, just well before this dries, do another shout out to my mate Stefan. Hang on. Shout out. Oh, other do that. Got it on the other screen. Hang on. Woo, bearing with me. Shout out. See, I've got much better at technology, not. Shout out at Stefan Angelico. And also, I'm going to do a shout out to my mate Roz, who is also an amazing streamer. So anyone in my chat who doesn't know these guys on YouTube and Twitch, if you pop over to Twitch, pop a follow over there. Very, very, very clever with all things tech. very informative and lots of fun. Okay, so I'm just going to go, now I'm going to go onto his head and body, and it's just a turquoise greeny colour. Well, actually, I'm going to do the Viridian very watered down. I'm just going to go Viridian, super watered down. And I'm going to cover that carefully. Very diluted, as you can see. I'm going to leave little snips of the white paper for the white on his feathers. Oh, have you seen the silo paintings around Australia? Oh my God, silo paintings are gorgeous. They're like the grain silos, and they've got people to paint artwork on them. They're just beautiful. You can actually tour around the country and just check out the artwork. It's very clever and very beautiful. And I just remembered that I've seen a little kingfisher. Oh, my pleasure, mate. My pleasure. Hugs back to you. Okay. Come down and around. Just leaving little snippets of white here and there. Come down and around, following the shape of the animal. Following down in the shape, like that. And then I'm going to go a stronger, less water, more pigment. So I'm just pretty much going to dip my brush into the paint itself. And I'm going to now go back and drop in the pattern of the feathers roughly. The shapes come down here. A quick look. I've got to darken up around his eyes. His eyes are looking a bit weird at the second. I'm going to make this much stronger just here. Onto where it joins onto his wings, it is much stronger, much darker. Then his wing feathers come down like that. And sort of wrap around him. I'm just going to do little lines like that, just to suggest that for a second. Like that. I want to make a stronger gold. So I'll go into the quinacridone, but grab more pigment. I've got to add, now that's dried a little, I want to add some textures, just the directions that the feather's going. Because I can see he's got quite strong feathers. And that will dry a couple of tones lighter. Darker under here. That's his shadowed area. Like that. Darker under here. Darker under this part of his feathers. And his tail is much darker. Take that all the way down there. I've got to add a few little flecks of this gold onto there as well. All right, I'm going to go a little bit more water. I'm going to add another layer onto here. Bring that up onto his tum, like that. Try and get adding the layers is what gives you the three-dimensional effect. And I've got to go strong green. So that's almost pure paint, no water, onto the highest part of his back, the darkest darks. Use the very tip of my brush. It will still dry a fraction lighter. Let it come darker around his eyes. There. I'm going to come around this part of his feathers darker. Darker under here. Oops. It's creating a little bit of feather texture. I'm going to draw the stripes. I've got to get a bit more pigment. It's a balance. It's a fine balance to get the right amount of water so that the paint flows but it stays dark. Because I've got to get enough water on the tip of my brush for the paint to travel. There we go. Give me the distinct lines that I want to get. Because his feathers come around the back like that. I want to get those visible. Like that. Now I'm going to draw these feathers, these lines coming down here. Use those lines that I drew as a guide. Like that. Come down and around. Add some darker ones in here. Being careful to go the direction that they go on the actual bird. Having a quick look. Got to really darken up. I'm going to get my deep indigo. Get a bit more pigment on my brush. Got to really darken up around his beak and around his eye. I've tried to leave the white of the paper as the little highlight on his eye. That looks a bit better. I think that looks a bit better. And I've got to darken up his beak. So I'm going to go back into my grey mixture that I had before, and I'm just going to do another layer. Quite diluted, but just another layer. I'll leave a little snip of the lighter one on top. Just on the very top of his beak. That will just create that little bit of a highlight. Like that. Actually, no, I won't. I'm just going to take... Whoa! No. Okay, hang on. I've got to tidy that up now. So what you do to tidy that up while it's still wet, wet your brush, take out the excess moisture, and just scrub that a little bit. I've got to try and pick that up. This paint, and indigo is a staining colour. So I've got to get it fast. And then I'll get a bit of cloth and just touch that. Do it again. Clean, wet brush. And just touch it with a little bit of clean cloth to lift it off. There's still a little bit of a mark, but it's not what it was. Not as bad as it was. A little bit of a smudge. Doesn't matter. That happens. That's art. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my pure orange. Or translucent pyrrole orange. And I'm going to pop that onto his little feet. Because his toes are quite bright orange. Just literally do them pure pigment like that. I will darken around the outside edge of those in a minute. I'm going to do something very strange. I'm going to add a bit of this blue-grey into the shadow areas, diluted blue-grey, under his tail, over the top of the orange. It'll muddy it up a bit, but it's a shadowy colour. Just in his shadow areas. Just to... Because your shadows need to be much darker than you think they do. And I'm going to use that grey also on the bottom side of his feet to create those shadows. And I will use it on his little toenails that wrap around the branch. And it's that simple. So I said I'd keep him, I'm going to add a little bit more of the blue to the bottom of his tail, just to darken that up a bit more. Now, I'm going to clean my brush And I'm going to, I have this one rule, one thing that I do for branches. I wet the paper. I wet everywhere I want the paint to be. Like that. I can do it in sections, but I'll wet the whole stick. You can do it in sections. And I'm going to wet, just wet everywhere that I want the paint to be. Go into my yellow ochre and drop it in. And it should flow and fill in a natural looking stick. So you just, while the paper's wet, I literally just run like that. And that creates my stick and gives me the texture and the effect. So you just wet it with clean water and then drop your paint in like 3 stripes. I'm also going to grab a little bit more to put, so it's a bit, actually I might go a little bit of burnt sienna. It's a slightly darker colour, brown, and take that and put that in the bottom, not a solid line while it's still damp. Put that in the bottom. And that helps to give it a little bit more shadow. Hello, Shane. How are you, doll? And I'm going to draw some of the little bit of texture in. How have you been? How are you? How's mum? How's work? How's life? I'm going to go back into my yellow ochre. I was thinking about you and mum the other day. So excited. Oh, what are you doing? What's going on? What you excited about? I'm going to add a little bit of shadow. I've got to get, that one's wet. I've got to get that. What colour is that? That is transparent brown oxide. So I'm going to add a bit of transparent brown oxide. And it's got to be a bit careful because less is more. It's got to add a bit of texture to the bottom part of this log or stick that he's sitting on. And I might even add a very, very dark line. I'm going to go indigo because why not? Because I'm indigo happy. And I'm going to add that because indigo and brown makes a dark grey. I'm not going to take it the whole length of his stick, but I'm going to add it on there. Like that. And that gives his stick a little bit of detail. Okay, that's my second work for the day. I am gonna go over his beak a little bit more. Going to be commitment ring shopping tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Wow, congratulations. That's exciting. I'm excited. Congratulations, mate. Who's the lucky person? Okay, I've just got to change the shape of his beak a little. And congratulations, I'm very excited for you. All right, now I've got a bit of a blob of water there. Pick that up. That'll dry off and you won't even notice it. I'm going to add a little bit more orange under here, under his beak here. Let's make it a little bit stronger. A little bit stronger through here. Like that. Just give him a bit more definition. I'll blob on a bit more orange here. That is super exciting, mate. I reckon that is not far from done. You know, and that was a very fast one just to show you that you can do quite a simple artwork quite quickly if you don't fuss with detail too much. I do tend to get lumbered down with detail. She's so adorable. I love her so much. Oh, congratulations. That's lovely. I'm so glad. I'm very, very happy for you, doll. Congratulations to you both. That is huge. So when are you bringing her to Australia? Just saying. Okie doke. I am going to call that done. So, because I'm afraid you've come in right at the end. So I've got to go and hang out with Scott for a little while. So I'm going to sign down here. But I'm going to try and stream every day if I can from now on. I've got myself back in the swing of things again. And it feels very nice to be hanging out with you all and drawing and painting again. So I will be trying to stream most days, as often as I can, for at least a couple of hours. So any requests, pop in my Instagram DMs or my, whoops, today's my picture's going to fall down. So these are the two I did today. So in case you didn't see, I did peacock and my kingfisher. So they were both lots of fun. Whoops, and I'll just drop me peacock. So lots of fun. I hope you enjoyed. And I will be back tomorrow at some stage because it's going to be another 1,000,000 degrees. So perfect weather for streaming. So yeah, I will see you all tomorrow for some more artwork. So thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for watching on Twitch. So to my Twitch buddies, we need to see who's on. I'll just leave these sit here like that. We need to see who's on so I can raid. I've just got to go to my Twitch over here and see, because we do what's called a raid where you take your followers with you to another channel. So I've got to go home over there and find, oh maybe not, stream manager, hang on, go there and home. And just bear with me, I'm just trying to find, going back to Twitch and see who's on that I know that we can raid. Oh, we've got lots of people on. Awesome, okay. So, we are going to go on a raid. Decisions. We're going to go and hang out with my mate Trip. Trip's playing games at the moment, but I also love gaming. So I'd love it if you'd come over there with me. So let's go, raid, Trip. So / raid, Trip, 228. And I will see you all over there. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I will come and see you again tomorrow. But yeah, give Trip some love. Pop a follow if you're on Twitch. And I will see you over there.